Hey guys, Kai here from Ray Studios, and today I'm going to be comparing three of the most popular under $500 electric skateboards right after this intro. The three boards I'm going to be comparing are the wowgo 2S Max, Meepo Shuffle B4S, and the Possway T3. The way I'm going to be doing this is by having different categories and assign a different score per category. You'll see that some categories have more points. That's because that category is more important. With that being said, let's begin. Our first category is price. The cheaper, the better. And this category is being completely taken over by Meepo. It's the king of budget electric skateboards, and they did not disappoint with this one. $399. I mean, you can do better than that, especially with 105mm wheels, which is basically like the Cloud Wheel Donuts, but different brand. It's followed by the Possway T3 at $499. It's $100 more expensive. It's a significant price difference there. And the wowgo 2S Max with 90mm wheels is $449. I personally have the 2-in-1 version, which have 90mm wheels and 105mm wheels. All these wheels, all 105mm wheels, looks like cloud wheels, but they're not, but they're pretty decent. So yeah, I will give 8 points to the Meepo, I give 6 points to the Possway T3, and I'm gonna give just 5 points to the wowgo 2S Max. Our next category is range. First, keep in mind that range can be heavily influenced by the weight of the rider, weather, and riding style. So I'm gonna just go through the range that they estimate on their own website. Keep in mind that these range estimates come from a 75kg riders going in second gear and on a totally flat surface, and usually in good temperature conditions. I got a lot less, but I'm gonna do a remark on that a little bit later. Our range king here is the Possway T3 with 80 miles, and actually that is a very generous range, especially for a budget electric skateboard. It's followed by the wowgo 2S Max with 14 miles of range, and last but not least is the Meepo with only 10 miles. Now, what I say that I want to talk a little bit about the range is, like, they all get a little bit less range than what I just mentioned. The one that get a lot less is the Meepo, that is almost half the actual range. Like, if I push really hard with a few hills, I get like maybe like 6 miles. So yeah, very poor range. They do have an option, the Meepo Shuffle B4S ER extended range, and that is $200 more expensive. It's a significant price difference. Our next category is beginner's mode. The easier it is to ride, the better. And I'm giving this category to the wowgo 2S Max, just because it have a hobby winning AC that is very gentle when accelerating and braking, followed by the Possway T3 that is also quite smooth on acceleration and braking. Now, the Meepo Shuffle B4S, it's not like it's not smooth, but I feel like it's a bit more sporty and it have a bit more of a punch when it's accelerating. So that's gonna come with extra points for performance, but right now it's scored at last. When it comes to design, that's very subjective. It was nice to me, may not be nice for you. So that's why I make this category only 3 points. Personally, I like more the wowgo 2S Max. It has a more mature design and it kind of looks like a more expensive electric skateboard, almost like a flagship. In second place, I'm gonna have the Meepo B4S. That looks pretty cool. I like the design. I just don't really like the motor covers. Now, the Possway T3 is not ugly by any means. It's actually a good looking board. It's just a bit boring, a bit dull. So it comes last on this category, but I'm gonna give 3 points to the wowgo and 2 points for the Meepo and the Possway. Tracks are very important. It can make turning and carving a lot more fun, and they're very important for stability at high speed. I believe that the Meepo Shuffle B4S have the best tracks. Those are the Shredders tracks, and they have a pushings of 92A durometers. The wowgo 2S Max have 88A durometer pushings, which are pretty good, and they're also pretty good for carving, and the Possway T3 also feels pretty decent, but this category definitely goes to the Meepo. to portability, the smaller and lighter, the better. So this category is obviously going to go to the Meepo Shufle B4S, that is a bit shorter than pretty much any other electric longboard out there, and it's also a little bit lighter at 7.8 kilograms. It's followed very closely by the wowgo 2S Max, and the Possway T3 is basically the biggest and the heaviest of them all. This budget board don't really have any specific features that is very remarkable, but something that I want to mention is that the wowgo 2S Max that have motor detection, and the other two boards have push to start. So it's up to you which one you prefer. I'm going to give it equal amount of points in this category. These three boards all perform pretty good, especially when it comes to top end speed. They're all very fast. They all have a top end speed of 28 miles per hour, which is freakingly fast, especially if you're a beginner. You need to be careful with that. But I feel like the Meepo Shufle B4S that have a bit of a kick when you're riding, is a bit faster on the acceleration than the other two boards, not by much, but I can feel it. And it also climbs a little bit faster. So if you're living in an area where there are a lot of hills, I guess the Meepo B4S will be better when it comes to performance. Remember that the battery is not so good, especially while climbing hills, but when it comes to performance, it did not disappoint. That is being followed by the wowgo 2S Max, that is also not bad at all, and the Possway T3 is the one that felt a little bit slower, especially on acceleration and braking, but like I say, they all have pretty good top end speed. Riding experience is personally the category that matters most to me, because when I ride, I just want it to be very comfortable, as I tend to ride mostly in the city to commute from place A to place B. And in that particular category, I have to give it to the wowgo 2S Max. It's the most comfortable, not by much, but it definitely is. They all have 105mm wheels, that helps a lot, and their decks are all like a little bit flexible. Really, you can barely notice that it's flexible. For the most part, I will consider all these three decks as stiff decks, but something that I noticed with the Possway T3 is that some cracks on the road, I can feel them a little bit more on that particular board, so I will put that at the bottom of this list. And the Meepo B4S that have these very strong concaves that you feel very uncomfortable after riding 5-10 minutes. So I hope this video has somehow helped you make a decision on which board is best for you. To be honest, I don't know which one have the most score. I'll put it somewhere in here. Okay, that was probably my editor making some like really cool like fireworks and victory lap on that particular board, which I don't know which one is it. So kudos to that company that win this challenge of the under $500 board. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. As usual, links in the description down below. Remember that you're always getting a discount when you buy from my links, so make sure to use my links, affiliate links, and I also get a little bit of money, so you help this channel grow. All right guys, that is it. See you in the next one.